Great, we got a full lobby. Alrighty, do we have any viewers yet? Not yet. That's gonna change in a second. Mr. Polska, what's up? How are you doing? You got 19 guys. Who's that 19th guy? We were only expecting 18. I smell some bullshit. Why are we 19 guys when we were only expecting 18? Gonna make sure that it's actually in a free driver and not someone else. Now whatever, fuck it. It's just gonna be... Ah, yeah, of course it's the reserve of things. Okay. Ignore what the German man is saying. He's on drugs. He doesn't know what he's saying. I'm not really on drugs. I'm just drunk. Glowstick, you feel like shit, I've heard. You should stop feeling like shit. It ain't healthy for you. Let's see, we're about to start. Let's take a quick look at the championship order after 2 races. I just had the table open 1 minute ago. There we go. Let's see, driver championship. Who do we have leading? We got Bobby leading with 33 points. And without a win so far, only 3rd place in Australia and 2nd in Spain. Behind him we got Sadio with 28, then Berre with 25, followed by Rekla with 24. Len van Dongen with 19 and Ballboy with 18 in P6. Then we got Texfax, Mahir, VIP and Glowstick all with 10 points. Then Zook with 8, Ruben with 6, Igneous with 2 and Sen with 1 point in P14. Cassidy, Pippo, Alpha King, Michael, Costa, Frankie Monty and Smolly yet to score a point. And in the constructors are quite close between Williams and Aston Martin. Williams with 51 points, Aston Martin with 43. Behind them Red Bull with 34, followed by Ferrari with 25. Then AlphaTauri with 20, McLaren with 18, Alpine with 11, Alfa Romeo with 2 and Haas and Mercedes without any points. And it's raining. Yes! Ah, perfect. We are in Miami today, in case you haven't noticed. Zook is hosting the lobby this time, so hopefully there will be no disconnects. Seems to be intermediate weather. And let's see if someone can spoil us for the race. What weather are we expecting? Because it's gonna be interesting. Like, if it's wet in the qualifying and dry in the race, then people will probably still be going for the dry setups. As Berre is on. Okay, that's just a mistake. Mahir, he's retired, he has a qualifying ban. And we got someone out, it's an Alpine, followed by someone else, that's Pippo. Let's Texfax out first. God, I gotta get used to those controls again. I've been playing way too much F1 Manager. But we got Texfax out first on the track. I don't think I've driven this track in interconditions yet, as he's almost losing it. Gonna be quite a challenge. Let's see. I hope it's gonna be dry for the race though, because otherwise we might have a very short race, or at least a very chaotic race. Then again, those races are always quite fun, so maybe a little bit of rain in the race wouldn't be too bad. As you've noticed, I'm alone again today. Still struggling with commentators. We got a Yuri commentating F4, so if you can't stand my voice anymore, go over to F4, listen to Yuri's beautiful voice. It's gonna be interesting how much curb those guys can take, especially if we got chicane, because I imagine they're gonna be quite slippery. I mean, this track overall is quite slippery because obviously the asphalt here is locally produced in Miami. I think that's a condition that the mayor gave the construction when he signed off on it. That's also why in the dry it looks kinda reddish and doesn't have massive amounts of grip. Probably gonna be even worse when it's raining. But let's go on board with tech tracks here. Down towards turn 1. Quite careful through there. Take second gear, just testing out the grip levels. That's Ferrari coming out, that's quite close. That pit lane exit isn't ideal as he's really fighting the back end here. Struggling for rear grip. So that would tell me that he's either struggling for tire temperatures or he has more of a dry setup. Oh god. Struggling through turn 6, 7. Now 8. Massive understeer. Avoid that curb on the exit. Right kink off turn 9, then the left kink off turn 10. No DRS obviously because it's red. Down towards turn 11. Heavy braking zone. Don't lock up. He does take all the curb or the painted curb on the right hand side, so that doesn't seem to be too slippery. Through turn 12, late apex, 13, here comes the Mickey Mouse section. 14, 15, 16, very careful through there. Just getting used to the track conditions. We're definitely gonna see faster times throughout the session. And approaching turn 17, another heavy braking zone. That's gonna be the best overtaking opportunity in the race, I guess. That in turn 11. Backing quite late, makes the apex, and now careful on throttle. Manages to do that quite nicely and stick to the right. Shortest way to the finishing line, 140.6. Let's see what can the cars behind him do. We got Bobby coming across the championship leader, 39.6, already a second faster. We got Pippo just a few thousand slower. Then we have an Aston Martin, that should be regular. He's still getting up to speed. We got Swings, the reserve, with a 38.4, so he's feeling quite comfortable in those conditions. See, next up is a McLaren with either Zook 1.4 seconds down. And behind that his teammate. Same pace as Zook, the two McLarens again, very closely matched. See, then we got Ruben here invalidated, Sadio Mano second in the championship right behind him. He goes P2 but still second off Swings. I think Swings he's kinda like Max Verstappen or Ayrton Senna or whichever good driver you wanna compare him to. When it comes to wet weather driving, he seems to have a lot of confidence right out of the gates, or maybe he's just using a wet setup. That could also be the case. Let's see, Ignils 1.7 off. Oh, and that's... I think VIP just had a spin there. Let's see who else do we have. We have Michael, he just started a lap. He's gonna hit some traffic. He invalidated. Behind him we got... I see Barry, he's just finishing a lap. And that's Ballboy? No, that's Bobby right up his ass. Very interesting what he's doing there. Bobby improves only 2/10 off Swings now. Barra 2 seconds off. That was his first lap, so he's gonna get faster. Let's see, that's Michael. Do we have anybody else on a lap that's valid? We got Ruben on a lap. His first lap was invalid. I can't remember what his lap time was. Let's see, approaching the final few corners, the hairpin. Goes on to first gear for the rotation. And doesn't really short shift that much. I would have expected him to short shift a lot sooner. Has to lift off with the final corner, that's how slippery it is. And he goes up into P5, 1.3 seconds off the pace. See, Alpha King is in. See, Ignils, he's pushing, he's very careful through the second to last corner. But he goes P4, 7 tenths away from pole. So we got Sen as well. He's coming towards the end of the first sector, as I have to take a quick sip. Let's see, I think it was a 35.6 from Sen in the first sector. I'm not sure what the fastest sector right now is. In sector 1, I'm gonna check that really quick. 35.2. See, 2.56. So quite a way off on his first lap is Sen. But looks quite clean through the Mickey Mouse section, or the technical section in sector 2. Now approaching the final few corners. Again important to hit the braking zone. 330 kph, so that's quite fast. That would suggest to me that he's running a low wing dry setup. And he goes P2, just 14 thousandths off swings. So it's a really good lap from him, where I think Michael is still trying to set a valid lap and he's still failing to do so. Let's see. He has to run out of fuel at some point. But not that. What else do we have? We have Barra, he's invalid. We got Ruben, he is valid, but he's 9 seconds down. We got Zook. Let's see what can he do for the first sector. He has a bit of traffic ahead of him, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Takes second gear for turn 8. So seemingly a lot of those guys struggling with a bit of understeer. And yeah, he's really down on, up on his time, so I think he's just gonna try and have another go. Let's see. Ah, perfect, we got swings pushing. Let's go on board with him. Looks very stable, the car through the SS. Short shifting also to first gear even for the left-hander. Seems to work for him, being 3 tenths up now. See what's his top speed like, 310, 316, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24. So Sen was 6 kph faster than that on the back straight. The speed should be similar on both straights. So yeah, Sen definitely running less swings as Molly. Just went fastest by a few thousandths. And swings taking a lot of curb there, still up on his time. By 4 tenths, almost 5 tenths now. So it's definitely going to be a 37. The track is rapidly improving. As a bit of water is being cleared away, I think the rain has eased up as well. It is still raining a bit, but not as much as it was before. And we only have 7.5 minutes left to go, as there's a Ferrari spun around in the last corner. That was Alpha King, who just started his lap. But Swings didn't get invalidated by that. Goes fastest with a 37.8. Smolly's, oh, and there's an Alpha Tauri sideways in the chicane, and that messed up his lap. That's Texwax, who lost it at the exit of the chicane over those bumps, and that killed Smolly's lap, so that's very unfortunate for him. We got Sen. No, he isn't pushing. We got Bobby, he just started a lap. We got Michael. Michael actually managed to finish a lap and is in P5 right now, so once he does get a lap together, he's actually quite decent. Let's see, we have a bunch of guys coming across the line. We are gonna have a Mercedes. That's Kostya, he's gonna come across the line. And where's he gonna be? He's gonna be in P13, 2.3 seconds off. That was his first lap, so he's still getting used to attack conditions. Let's see. Evo in the comment section, hello. Let's see, that's VIP. He extends up. That could be a decent lap. Goes to P8. Not too bad. I think there's a bit of a pile up. Who said that's Pippo, who's going very slow in the last corner. I think, did he get damaged? Yes, he did. I think he just understeered into the barrier. Oh, and there's more contact in the pit lane. You gotta be careful with this pit lane. You have to back quite early for the pit limiter line. Who's next? I think Rekla is next, followed by Berre. Let's see what Rekla can do. Berre, he's off into the pits, and Rekla goes up by 1.1 seconds, but still only P13 for him. Let's see, we got Kostya trying again. Oh no, he's down by almost 2 seconds, as we have Sadio Mano, who just went into P2, 3/10 down from the provisional pole. Bobby just started another lap. Let's see, meanwhile, Frankie Monti, he's coming through the second sector. Ahead of him there's a McLaren. That's VIP who hasn't validated, so Frankie Monti should be the next one to finish a lap. What's the second sector time like? 1:12.4, that isn't crazy fast, but then again the entire field is spread out by 3.4 seconds. Let's see, reaching 3:24.25 kph, so again a little bit less wing than Sphinx. But it seems like those high wings really help Sphinx, and he's in the pits. It seems like those really high wings help Sphinx in the first and second sector, you know, with those S's and that slow technical section. Meanwhile, Igni's coming across the line. This could be a decent lap from him. P2, only 2/10 down. Really good job from him. Let's see, next up is Bobby. What can he do? Is he improving his time? No, he's in the pits. He's gonna pit for new tires and try again. Meanwhile, Smolly's about to start his lap. That should be his final lap. He won't make it back around into the pits again. So then we have Evil Zook. He's still on an out lap. And Ruben right behind him. So let's on board with Smolly then, who has a big moment and a bit of traffic as well for good measure. And that's going to be qualifying done for him, so he's not going to improve on his P4. Should be careful not to send anybody in the way. I know they're only on the out lap, but if they crash into you, that ain't gonna help anybody. Let's see, Sadio, he's pushing right now. And that is Zook ahead of him. Let's see what Zook can do for the first sector. He's up by almost a 10th. That's not a lot. I didn't see by how much Sadio improved. So Ignites in the meantime goes fast as the Alfa Romeo. He was on another push lap, so he did 2 push laps in one stint. And he's fastest by 26,000. Meanwhile, Sphinx just behind him started his lap. Zook, he's still gonna try to improve his lap time. Gonna try to move up a few positions, but there's some traffic ahead of him, but he should be for the last few corners. Let's see what he can do. Probably around P6, I would imagine. P8. So small improvement for him. Sadio Mano in the meantime coming across the line. He's gonna start another lap. He was 4 seconds down, so he aborted that one. Ruben in the meantime through the last corner. Pretty much equal to his best time so far through the second sector. What can he do in the last sector? A little bit of movement from the back end. Can't improve. Next up is who's that? That must be Ball Boy, I believe. No, who was it? Yeah, it was Ball Boy. We're gonna ignore him. We got Pippo in the last sector. Where's the Haas? That's the Haas of Sphinx. There we go. So he comes through the last two corners. Can he improve on this time? I reckon he can. To the line, it's going to be a 137.4. Extends his lead by another 4 tenths. Sadio Mano in the meantime up by 2 tenths so far. 4 tenths through the second sector. So this could be close between him and Sphinx. He should be able to get Ignates, who's in the pits now, so he's going to be done for qualifying. Meanwhile, we have the Red Bull, I think that's Berre coming across the line. He goes up into P9. We got Texwax up into P6. Big jump from him. Here comes Sadio. What can he do in the last sector? Not enough to challenge Sphinx, but still good enough for P2. We got Sen coming through the second sector. Which we have, that's Ruben on a lap. He's up by 7 tenths. That's a decent lap from him. He could be going up to P6. Maybe even P5 or 4, as Zook has retired in the pits, and he goes up to P6. Let's see. We also have Bobby still on the lap through the second sector. Ball Boy up into P9, decent lap from him. We got Sen coming through the final few corners. He's up by 7 tenths. That's a really good lap from him so far. Could he possibly challenge for pole? Yes, he can! By 66 thousandths. Absolutely great job, but Sphinx is still on the push lap and he's improving by another almost 2 tenths. So he's gonna take pole right back again. Meanwhile, Michael, I think that was, moved up into P5. But here comes Sphinx across the line and he's gonna extend his advantage once again by 47 thousandths over Sen. So really close there between the top two. Let's see, we got Kostya coming across the line. He's been down by a 10th. Can he improve? No, he can't. Wecker isn't improving. Alpha King is in the pits, and that's it. It got quite closer towards the end. I'm not quite sure where Sen came from, because he was, you know, around P5 for most of the session. But a really good last lap from him there. But yeah, Sphinx the reserve on, if I'm not mistaken, his first race, his debut. Already putting in a good performance for Haas, so I don't know. If he reserves more often, maybe he's gonna book himself a full-time seat. And he could become one of the championship contenders if he keeps up this pace. Let's see. Here our top 10. Texas got a penalty. I think that also had contact with Smolly in the chicane. We got Sphinx out on top, followed by Sand, followed by Sadio. Then Ignates already half a second down, followed by Michael. Decent qualifying for him, but still 7 tenths down. That's quite a big gap. Pippo, Smolly, Ruben, Texfax, who's going to start from P14 because of that penalty. Meaning that Bobby, Ballboy, Zook, Berre, and VIP GTA Gamer are gonna move up one place. Alpha King in P15, followed by Rekla, Kostya, and Monty. And Mahir obviously had that qualifying ban. He's gonna start from the very back. And I do hope that we get a dry race, because then it's gonna be interesting to see who might have had a wet setup for qualifying. I mean, this is a street track, technically, so you would guess that it isn't that easy to overtake, but we got 2 very long straights. Well, actually the start-finish straight could also be a good overtaking spot. So you got 3 fairly decent overtaking spots. I would say overtaking here is definitely possible, so I'm not sure if you would want to go for a wet setup in quali and jeopardize your race pace too much. Let's see, and it is dry. Alrighty. Let's check the chat one more time. Formation lab should be on. Yeah, it is on. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty, let's take a look at the tires. Oh god, that's a nice mix of skills. The top 3 on completely different tires as Molly already got disqualified. Wow. Top 3. Oh, and he's on the hards. Oh, it's gonna be a question to start. The top 3 on completely different tires. The pulse header on hards, Sen on mediums, Mano on softs. This can only go well. A lot of guys on the hards actually. Ignils, Pippo, Smolly got disqualified, Bobby, Zook, Barra, VIP. No, VIP not. Texrex, Alpha King, Reclaf, Frankie Monty, and Michiel all on hards. Only the 2 Red Bulls and Ballboy on softs. And only Sen, Michael, VIP, and Kostya on the mediums. So, gonna be interesting to see how good those hard tires will come off the line, especially with Smolly, who got disqualified right at the start of the formation lap, so his tires are gonna be stone cold. So I expect a big pile up there on the way down to turn 1. I'm actually not sure what the strategy around here is. I'm not sure if we... there we go, that's the strategy. Let's see, hard, medium, soft. Yeah, so hard, medium seems to be the way to go for most tracks on this game. Not sure if the softs can go long enough to pit for the mediums, to pit for the hards. I guess that's what the 2 Red Bulls and Ballboy are banking on. Or maybe they're just hoping for, you know, a perfectly timed safety car that's gonna help them extend their stint a bit. Oh, I can already see it's gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting racing, gonna be interesting for strategy. We don't have a lot of data about this racetrack because we haven't raced here before, so that's gonna be interesting. Gonna see where the overtaking spots are. Definitely into turn 11, into turn 17. Those are the 2 obvious ones. But maybe we can see some moves through sector 1, maybe even through sector 2. It's gonna be interesting. As Swings got disqualified, so he's gonna start a little bit further back. Barry got disqualified, Zook got disqualified, Ballboy, Texrex, Frankie Monty. Bunch of guys not learning how to park. So it's gonna be a big advantage for Sen and especially Mano at the start. Go on, camera angle. And Ignitz gets a drive through for a jump start, and there goes Sadio already with a good start. He's towards the outside and he's up into the lead. Swings is sending it, a little bit of contact. I hope there's no damage from Mano. There goes the Alpine. Around the right side, a little bit on the curb. I suppose he didn't bottom out. Swings very aggressive on the defense there, but doing good so far. Smolly is dropping back into P13, that's to be expected with his cold tires. Top 3 remain as they are for now. Sadio Mano is going down the inside of turn 8, can't pull it off. He wants to make those softs work as soon as possible. See, meanwhile Ruben and Ballboy already further up the field. Pippo trying to defend from Ballboy, but good start from the British driver as there goes VIP on the mediums down the inside on both of them. Very good job from him. Ruben and Bobby are fighting side by side. Ruben making a move through sector 2 using those soft tires to great advantage. Mike in the meantime up to P4. So I think he gained A position there if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he gained A position. Ballboy gaining 2, VIP gaining 6. Smolly losing 7, Ignitz losing 8. So bad start for them too. Even Zook losing 8 as well. Something happened to him at the start, not quite sure what. As further up, Swings and Sen are fighting. Swings still making this house very wide, not letting him pass, not giving him any room, careful not to weave down the straight. There goes Sen. Swings is gonna send it up the inside. No, he isn't, just doesn't have the grip. Michiel and Ignitz in the pits. Ignitz to service drive through. Michiel I think might have damage. As here goes Swings around the outside again. So this high down for setup really helping him for the first sector. But let's see what Sen can do down to turn 11 now, as he's going a little bit wide there, beyond the track limits. We have warned the drivers that the track limits around there might be a bit faulty, where you can abuse it. We are aware of that, and we are watching it very closely. But now Sen, with the slipstream. Ooh, no gap there. Swings, I would even say that's hard defending, but just good defending from Swings so far. And Sadio Mano 8/10 back. I think he's just hoping for them to have some kind of contact, as that's VIP spun around. Yeah, VIP spun around at the beginning of turn 12, and is that a safety car? It's either a safety car or a virtual safety car. Let's look at the panels. It's a virtual safety car. Pretty sure that was for VIP being spun around in that slow section. That probably triggered the virtual safety car, so everybody can calm down for now. Just for a few seconds, let's see. Zook and Igni's losing a lot of places. Molly losing 4 places, he recovered a bit again. Texas gaining 5, that's good. Bobby's already in the pits on those hards, same as Barra, so those two might have damaged actually. Because I can't see why would be pitting that soon with the hards, and VIP gets a 5-second penalty for speeding, just like Leclerc did after Sunday's race. That's pain. As we are back under green flag racing, no drive-throughs for speeding under VSC, so that's good to see. And Swings managed to absolutely nail that restart. He's pulling away 1.4 seconds, 1.3, 1.2. Sen got a better exit there. And you can see Mano, he's just saving some energy, but he has to get past those guys and extend the gap, because those softs, they aren't gonna last very long. I think maybe like 6-7 laps top. The crossover is probably after like 4 or 5 laps, so he really has to get closer to those guys before he starts dropping off. Meanwhile, Texax and Pippa are going side by side for sector 2. That's ambitious. And they make it work. Ballboy just behind them trying to look for a gap. Can't find one yet. TS Sen had a perfect second sector with those mediums. Sadio is dropping back, but Sen now on the straight with the overspeed and the DRS, sending it on the inside. They're still side by side coming out of the corner. Sen leading for now. Who has the DRS? Nobody. Nah. Yeah, Swings has the DRS, he's gonna try to go towards the outside. Sen with the fastest lap, and they both go off track. Okay, this is interesting. This is some Hamilton-Verstappen style racing, and they're both pushing each other off track. And Sadio Mano just going down the inside, and we have another safety car. Are you kidding me? What happened this time? We have... Oh, Frankie retired. He was up quite a few places. Oh, and there we see it. If you ride on board with Bobby... Ignils has retired in the pits. If you're on board with Bobby, you can see him just towards the left-hand side. I reckon he probably lost it on that apex curb of turn 2. Spun it around. And then retired into a barrier, so that's unfortunate for him. But yeah, that move by Sadio Mano, that was just great. That was almost like Hamilton, Leclerc and Perez this year in Silverstone. Through the Vale chicane. Just... you know, 2 guys fighting each other, and Sadio was the smiling third. Let's see safety car now after 4 laps. Let's see, could we see any medium or soft runners pitting for hards this early? I'm not quite sure if the hards will make it that long. I think we're gonna have to wait another 5 or 6 laps. We're going to see Sadio now on the softs in the lead. He has to get a good safety car restart and pull away, or is he coming into the pits? Oh, he is coming into the pits. So is Sen. Swings staying out, obviously. So I guess the hards can make it to the end. Unless they're committing to a 2-stop. Let's see. And those are mediums for the Red Bull. So the Red Bull is definitely going for a 2-stop. Sen is probably going to try to go for the 1-stop on those hards. So Sadio going very aggressive with his strategy. He's gonna have to do a lot of overtaking. And get a bunch of guys in the pits actually. Sadio comes out in P6. Yeah, P6. so it's a good position for him. Only 5 cars ahead of him. And a bunch of guys pitting, bunch of guys going for mediums. So the 2-stop does seem to be quite viable around here. Obviously with the safety car, you know, they can just close back up again. And we saw after the VSC the advantage that Sen had on those mediums against swings on his hard in sector 2, how he just gained like 7, 8 tenths in one single sector. So the grip difference is quite high around here, I reckon, between the compounds. Michael F1 pitted for the softs. That's interesting, so he's gonna go very aggressive, all the way down in second to last place. See, we got VIP who still has to catch up. He's just in turn 1 now. So we're gonna have the safety car probably for another lap or 2. Let's see, let's take this opportunity to check the chat. Lisano, hello. Let's see, we got glow stick rooting for Barra. Barra in P12 right now. Actually, where did he start? I forgot. He started in P12, so yeah. Not a lot of progress for him right now. Obviously the order is all mixed up now because a bunch of guys pitted, a bunch of guys didn't. Textvax up 12 positions. Costa up 13. Let's see. Actually, who didn't make a pit stop yet? Because I think most of the field has made a pit stop. Yeah, we only got the top 5 and Zook in P7 who haven't made a pit stop yet. So Zook might be a roadblock to everybody behind, and that's exactly what Mano needs. So he can just focus on the cars ahead. Let's see, meanwhile Barry was in the pits again. He's gone for the hard. And he's been clever. He's done 1 lap on the mediums, I think he was just on, and then went back to the hards that he had earlier. Maybe... Nah, surely he's not gonna drive through to the end with those. But who knows, maybe he is. That would be the only thing that would make sense now, to go to the end with the hards. But it's gonna be very difficult for him. But who knows, it might be possible. I don't know anything about strategy around this place. Let's see, VIP is almost caught up again. So we should see the safety car coming in this lap. See, is it coming in? Yes, it is. The lights are turned off. And there we go, there's a message. So Swings is gonna lead the restart. And go on board with Textvax to see if Swings can create a gap. So being quite fast, keeping up with the safety car. See, now he's going quite slow. Don't go side by side with him, you are not allowed to do that. Gotta stay behind him, there can't be any overlap. And now Swings goes. Textvax is still there. Little bit of movement further down. We're going forward and behind. That's a bit close. Oh, and that's Pippo spun around. He was in P3 on the restart. Sardemano already gained 3 positions, stepped into P4. Weckler in P3 now. Ruben up into P6, probably into P7. We got... I think Pippo has some damage there. Yeah, he has left side end plate damage. He just has to stay out of the way of everybody and get back into the pits. But a great start for Mano there, already gaining 3 positions in that forward moment. As we have a spinner, and that's Machil spun around and he lost his front wing. Was there contact with someone else? I'm not sure. Michael gained a lot of positions on those softs. Zook and VIP, the 2 McLarens, fighting with each other. They're going side by side ahead of them. Michael and Smolly still going side by side. Smolly down the inside now, gaining good position on Michael. Michael with the switchback trying to hang it around the outside, but can't quite do it. There's Pippo with his damaged front wing. Oh, and he almost spins Michael around. As well as Wrecker spun around from P3. So he must have had some contact with Sadio Mano possibly. Or with Texax, one of the two, because Texax also lost a few tenths to swings and is already out of that 1 second window. Behind them we got Sen and Mano fighting for P3. Ruben right behind them, then Bobby. Alpha King 1.1 seconds back. We got Smolly and Ballboy fighting side by side. Smolly on those new mediums, looking quite fast. Michael is still keeping up with him. Pippo, he's still staying out of the damaged front wing. I'm not sure if that's very smart. He's lost a lot of pace. He should just come into the pits, snap on the set of mediums, and hope for another safety car. He can't even keep it on track. He almost spun around Michael in the second sector. As there he goes side by side with Smolly, and that was some real-to-real contact, and that sent Smolly around. I think that's just the game physics being at play here. Not sure there's anything that Michael did wrong. Just unfortunate for Smolly, as Sadio Mano is behind Texax on those faster mediums. Is he gonna lunge it down the inside? No, he's not. Behind him, everybody is keeping calm. Let's see, Smolly got overtaken by Rekla. Ivezuk. Oh, Ivezuk has damage. He had something going on in the first sector. He lost his entire front wing, so bad for him. As Rekla, I think Rekla was going side by side with Smolly there, and they must have had contact and spun around, and we have another safety car now. That's our third full course caution after... What lap are we on? 8 laps? Yeah, 8 laps. I mean, it's to be expected. It's Miami, it's F3, it's a new track, it's a street circuit. But at least that's giving the likes of, you know, Machiel and Costa and Ivezuk the opportunity to pit again. Michael is in the pits. Does he have damage? See, a bunch of guys coming into the pits. That's going to be for Pippo and Zook. VIP is also in the pits. Barry is also in the pits. Michael does have damage. Barry might jump him here, actually. Yes, he does. And Pippo jumps him as well. Michael now back on the hard tires. VIP jumped all of them in that pit stop cycle, I think. So he's up into P10, Zook in the pits, Machiel. He doesn't seem to have any damage. I think he just had some kind of spin. So he's good to continue. And Swings, after extending that gap to over 2 seconds, now he has to do it all again. Nailing that restart one more time. Although, last time Texax was right there with him on the restart, so maybe Swings has to do something new now. Maybe hang back a bit more, accelerate out of a hairpin. Surprise Texax a bit. Obviously you can't just, you know, go and brake and go and brake. That's against the rules, so he has to be tactical with when he goes. Sadio Mano worked his way up into P3. Obviously those top two yet to make a pit stop. Those are the only two that haven't pitted yet. Very interesting to see how their strategy will play out in the end. Oh god, excuse me. It's so dusty in my room, I can barely fucking breathe. Whatever, it's unfortunate. I mean, Ignatz he retired in the pits, Monty lost it on the curb. Rekla, I think that might have been the result of contact with Smolly, who is now pitting. I'm not sure if he has damage or if he made a late call to change the tires. He's going for softs and a wing change. Looking at this, it seems like nobody really has a strategy at this point. They're just saying, okay, I'm at the back of the grid, I'm gonna go for softs and move my way up the grid for the next safety car. Meanwhile, Swings and Texax out front are just staying with their hards, still holding on to, I guess, their hard medium strat. Or maybe even hard soft with all those safety cars. Let's see, safety car should be coming in at the end of this lap. Oh god, I'm stupid. I just tried to skip time, like I did on F122 Manager. Great game, by the way. Should definitely install it. I think when it came out it was off by like 10 euros. Only cost like 50 euros. It's a really nice game. Should definitely buy that. I'm not sure if the strategies in that game correlate to the tire degradation in this game. Would be interesting to find out. If it does, it could be some great pre-race practice for league races and whatnot. But a really fun game. It's not as complex as Motorsport Manager, if any of you know that, but it's coming fairly close. It's really great fun to play. Let's see. As there the safety car goes. Let's see, we're gonna go on board with Texax again. And again swings. Still keeping up the pace, trying to get temperature into those hard compound tires. And I think he's gonna go late again, somewhere halfway through turn 18 I reckon. He's gonna slow down now. Texax knows it. Ah, he's holding him longer now. He's holding him longer, he's going very late. But Texax, good reaction again. Sadio though on his back, getting pressured by Sainz. Sainz already passed Sadio. Oh, and we're going 3 wide, and somehow they're still alive. There goes Bobby, absolutely carrying off track, and that's who's that spun around? Alpha King, I think, spun around. Oh no, that's Ballboy spun around. Oh no, Ballboy. Ballboy spun around in turn 1. He was involved in that melee. And swings, using the chaos to extend the 1.9 second gap immediately. So we got some more fighting halfway through the grid. Oh, that's Alpha King with damage, so he was involved in that contact as well. Smolly on the softs from the back of the grid, using all that chaos to his advantage. Moving back up the order, Sen pressuring Manu around the outside. Manu just needs 1 or 2 laps in peace where he can just pick off Bobby and then set his sights on swings. Or maybe he's just gonna stay behind Bobby if they're both able to gain on swings. Obviously those 2 championship rivals, Bobby leading the championship, Manu in P2, as I think we had a spin in the chicane. Ah no, that's just Alpha King going very slowly, I think. Yeah. And Texax already down in P16. Unfortunate restart for him as Bobby. He just got done, I think, around the outside by Manu, or did he have some kind of mistake? But Manu just pulled a massive gap on him. There goes Sen around the outside on his hard. That's gonna be a difficult move. Give each other space, little squeezing. But he pulls it off. Nice move there. Then VIP behind him. And we got Alpha King retiring, and we got a bunch of guys in the pits. We got Texax, we got Mahir, that's a double stack for Alpha Tauri. We got Pippo, who also had damage. And Swings in the meantime setting with purple sector 1 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. He's really using all that chaos to his advantage. You can see he's already drained his battery to 8%, just trying to extend that gap. Meanwhile, Manu 46, 30 for Sen, 30 for VIP, 30 for Bobby, and behind him Barry coming in quite hot on 60%. Then Michael and then already Smolly on those soft, so he's making the most of that tire. At this point he might be able to just go for mediums until the end in a few laps. Ruben, I think he had a spin for turn 11. No damage for him. And Manu really not able to catch up that much to Swings, but Swings is using all his energy right now. I'm not sure if that's the smartest thing to do. But of course Manu also under pressure from Sen behind him. But crucially for him, the championship rival Bobby currently scrapping away with the McLaren of VIP. And VIP is staying behind him for now. Bobby with some good straight hand speed, but he's draining his battery. VIP about 14% more. There comes Barrett towards the outside of him through turns 3 and 4. So that's turn 3. Can't pull it off yet. I mean, those first 3 corners are great for side-by-side racing if you're clean. If not, it's gonna be horrendous. Swings in the meantime though still able to extend that gap, so who knows, maybe we're gonna move him to F2 after this. As we have another yellow flag, that's Taxwax. Spun around in the hairpin, no damage for him I think. And that's a big cut across the line, and he might be retired. Yeah, he's gonna retire in the pits. Meanwhile, Sen's still very close, VIP and Bobby still fighting each other 2 seconds behind the podium places. And Swings still extending that gap with that high down for setup, so that really seems to work out around this track. And still draining all of his battery. You can see he's on 2%, 1%, 2%, 1%, 2%. He's deviating at this point as Sen is going past Mano. Ideally those two will want to work together to slingshot each other towards the front again. But then again, Swings still has to pit, those two don't. So maybe they don't even think about catching up to Swings because they know they have essentially that pit stop over him. And again, I'm pretty sure that Mano has to pit his way, so he would want to hurry up. But Sen, I think Sen can just take it easy and possibly go through to the end as Michael, he's retired in turns 18 and 19, and it's our 4th full course yellow, and that's going to be another safety car. Was there contact between Michael and someone else? Because it's very difficult to retire there. You're already well into 6th gear, so you can't have any wheel spin there, so I can only imagine that he must have had contact maybe with, I think he was somewhere around Smolly, Evil Zook, that kind of area. So it could be that he had contact with one of those guys. And now Swings gets to do it all once again. Or maybe he's gonna pit this time? There would be plenty of space for him to pit. I think he would be coming out somewhere around P6 behind Barra. I quite like this race so far. I mean, the rate of attrition is quite high. We already lost 6 guys and we are just about halfway through the race. But it is at least entertaining. At least when it comes to strategy, because I don't think anybody has any strategy so far, apart from Swings, who's in the pits now. Not sure if that was a cut across the line, that looked a bit close. There might be plenty of reports coming for that. Apparently for that